Did money trouble motivate this man to turn on his own brother and wipe out his entire family? After he got caught stealing from the family business, cops say Paul Caneiro murdered his brother Keith, Keith's wife, and their young children, just 11 and 8 years old. Why? To cover up what he stole from them and get a cut of a multi-million-dollar insurance payout. That's prosecutors' version of events anyway. Paul denies these charges. Now a jury's going to decide. You might remember this case from the aerial footage over their massive New Jersey home after a neighbor found Keith Caneiro dead on the front lawn in 2018, the house on fire. The true crime networks called this one the New Jersey Mansion murders. Paul Caneiro's been locked up awaiting trial for 7 years, but it'll finally get started in September. And I've been going through the court records here where prosecutors are starting to piece together their theory of the case.
That the defendant murdered his brother Keith Caneiro and Keith's entire family.
These guys weren't just brothers, they were business partners who owned 2 companies. The real moneymaker was a tech firm. But by 2018, Keith wanted out. He told his brother he was sick of the stress, but he was also telling friends and family he was sick of his brother. Prosecutors say Paul was in charge of a trust fund that made payments on a $3 million life insurance policy in Keith's name. But they say he was tapping that trust fund for personal expenses, more than $78,000. And these records show Paul had serious money problems. He owed back taxes and had 2 mortgages on his house, plus car payments for not 1, not 2, but 3 Porsches and an Audi he leased for his mistress. Keith was starting to suspect his brother was stealing from the company till, so he cut him off. And Paul was backed into a corner. So cops say he hopped into one of those 3 Porsches around 2 a.m., drove 13 miles from his home in Ocean Township to his brother's mansion in Colts Neck. There, they say Paul cut the power and shot Keith 4 times before turning to his brother's wife and children. Then, they say he set the place on fire. A neighbor found Keith's body the next day and called 911.
My God, there's blood here. It's a corpse.
It's what?
Somebody is dead here.
First responders found the rest of the family dead inside. But that wasn't all. Paul's house was also on fire. Authorities pretty quickly decided that this one was probably an inside job. So if the cops got this right, that means that not only did Paul Caneiro kill his brother's whole family, but he placed his own wife and kids in peril as part of this convoluted cover-up. But why even kill his own niece and nephew if this was all over money? Prosecutors point to the fine print in that life insurance policy. For one, the policy was in Keith's name, and Paul wasn't next in line for a payout. First, it would have to go to the wife and kids, so all 4 of them had to be out of the picture before Paul would even get a cut. Paul Caneiro has pleaded not guilty.
Paul Caneiro loved his brother, loved his sister-in-law like a sister, loved both children.
But so far, his defense hasn't given anything resembling an alibi. Jury selection starts September 8th.